Hi, welcome to Mystic Moons. The end of the year is almost here, almost, and the beginning of another year, 2026. And of course, we know all this is only relevant, sort of relevant, to Earthlings, right? Other beings don't really care, or they don't really have this time constraint that we have. So let's think about this a moment. We've heard lots, always, alien invasion, alien disclosure, aliens. And usually, if you sit down, you meet somebody, hi, I just thought I saw an alien. Oh, they think you were cracked. They still do. They still would. And you would say, well, it's something you just don't talk about. I mean, you would sooner talk about, your personal smell than discuss aliens. And why is this xenophobic, totally ridiculous attitude that we have about talking about the universe, the cosmos? Now, I'm sure if you know Mystic Moons, we often muse, think, feel the universe. I mean, you go outside, you can't help but look once in a while at least at the stars. Even if you live in the city and the lights blind you from looking into the heavens, you still see it. I mean, you still know that there are something's out there. Even sometimes you feel like something's watching you, or like maybe you look out your window and you feel something like a portal is there, a stargate or something. You've been in places like that. Sometimes you can go down to the subway or hop a bus and think this can go on forever and forever. And we've all seen episodes of sci-fi and intuition, dysphoria type things like Twilight Zone, Dark Side, things like that. And still that we're still being kept afraid of talking about aliens. Now, well-known psychics have long since said that the time of mass delusion, mass ignorance is over. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the company because this is a very serious. I mean, it's hard in a way to like say. It's hard in a way not to talk about it, but it's hard in a way to talk about it, even to think about it. I saw an alien. Well, how many of you out there have seen aliens? And if I was to tell you that I have seen some strange things, you go, well, you'd go, maybe. And what if we've all seen things in the sky that many of us have, and we've seen videos of things in the sky that defy an explanation. And of course, we know there's fake alien invasion. We know all this stuff. We know all this. We've been programmed. You and I and everybody else are programmed. Movies, TV shows, literature, and maybe even our smartphones are programming us constantly. Television, media, marketing. But we all know about the Bulgarian psychic Baba Vana. She said that 2025 was going to be the year, the time of mass disclosure. In other words, none of these little, uptight elitist groups could say buzz, but they kept all the information to themselves. NASA could no longer hide things. The EU space organizations couldn't hide anything. It can't be hidden anymore. And that's what Baba Varna said, 2025. And just to be on the safe side, a lot of countries are canceling their New Year's Eve celebrations. And we've heard, okay, so there's terrorists. Okay. I mean, everything is always fear. Not just disclosure. And then you got to wonder, maybe they have reason to be frightened of mass disclosure. And you would think, like, why? Are they going to, eat us? Going to, like, put a disintegrating ray gun on top of us? No, it's much more sophisticated. Much more sophisticated than that. I think the fact that they don't want to have disclosure because all of a sudden the majority of the people on this planet, will take another look about the means of control, the means of where we really stand. I mean, how we stand in the universe. And right now, it's hard for us to even think, or given the space to think, outside of our own little towns, villages, streets. Hello, how are you? Hi, chicken, how are you? Have you seen aliens? How many have seen strange things in the sky? How many people have seen silver discs? How many people have seen hexagons? How many people have seen things in the sky above? Taking a lonely country ride out at night just to look at the stars and seeing things. And it's not a meteorite, or like they like to call it now, fireballs. Yes, you have seen, kind of. Yeah, we've all have seen it. But yet it's not something that we could, like, let's have a coffee date and talk about aliens. What would you do? What would you do if tonight, tomorrow, in the next 48 hours, or the next 160 hours, this is 160 Earth hours to a week, correct? Yeah, I think so. Right? Thank you. Yes. Now, if you, all of a sudden, there's a spacecraft that is not going away, the people, they can't write it off and say it's a weather balloon, or it's it's the meds you're taking, or the pot you're smoking, or the booze you're drinking. They can't do that because too many people. They can also say mass psychosis, but don't believe any of these things. Remember, the same people that are telling you this honky tonk crap are also telling you that, like President Trump has bruises all over his hand, right? Bruises. Now they're saying it's because he shakes so many hands. That's where they think we're at, right? Get bruises on your hands because you shake too many hands. Handshakes. Okay, this is what we're dealing with. This is the level that they are conditioning our brains, our computer brains, to function as. So okay, let's just step off of that circle when we go back to the visitors, the interstellar beings. Now they've been around for a long time. It's not a new thing. It's not a new thing at all. But each time the governments and the media, which is basically the governments, have been like, hush, 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 hush. Now, even though you can go back in the Renaissance, you go back to the Sumerian period, the Chaldean period, these are like before BC, AD, thousands of years ago, in their artwork, in their rock art, rock cave drawings. They all have things that are amazingly sophisticated and amazingly alien too. Now they can say, "Oh, this is human." Like those long skulls of South America. Oh, they deformed group. There are tribes in Africa that have like three digits on their fingers and their toes. Oh, that's a deformity. And they married each other. They have all these excuses. All these excuses for something that they know nothing but hyperbole, an idea. They have just been, these people are saying, like, first of all, we have a certain lifespan, 60, 50, 100 years, maybe like 120 years. And we're not exactly, most of us, in good shape. So everything is just an idea. And of course, it's if you have the money to make that thing, that theory, the money and the time to disperse that theory, you get thumbs up. That's the way it is. That's the way it is being. Now, we can't allow ourselves to continue in this ignorance because things are too serious. And we're being taken lightly. Now, I'm not saying that we can't have false, phony alien invasion stage because we have all these chemicals, strontium, cadmium, aluminum, all these heavy metals, which make in our skies for like 20 years now, at least 20 years. I mean, if we go back to World War One, those, the atomic bomb, the hydrogen bomb, all those atoms are still probably, they have a shelf life of a couple hundred years, at least. Strontium, how long is that radioactive material at? Hello, how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? So I mean, they have the screen. They have the, if you go to a movie and you're looking at a screen, the projector. You have the projector is going on the screen. They have the air laden with heavy metals, which can reflect holograms. We know that. Have you ever seen one? I have. And it floored me too, the realistic amount, the realism involved. It's amazing. It's amazing. So let's start out with this old vintage deck. And let's see now. First of all, are we in for a big hello? Hello, Earthlings. Hi. Are we in for it? Or check this out. This is also something. But we're gonna do. Let's backtrack a little. This 3i Atlas coming as close as it did the 19th, which is a few days ago, maybe a week ago. Was that is 3i Atlas the light in the sky, that Baba Varna, the Bulgarian prophet? Was that the light in the sky? Now, one thing they didn't really tell you too much about 3i Atlas was the fact that when it came the 19th, it was buzzing some kind of frequency on a very high hertz, very, very high frequency level, like 28 or 27, which we can't hear that well at all. But it reacts. Just because we can't hear something doesn't mean it's not going to react. We all know that, right? We all know that. Well, in fact, it sent a pulse through our atmosphere that caused a few earthquakes to happen. So, I mean, it's not only our brains, our being that they're trying to contact, they're trying to make some noise, right? Make some noise that we humans don't need to have Macron or Putin, Trump, any leader of any country tell us that, or the UN itself to issue a statement. We don't need that. We can trust our own senses about this. And this is what the big hello is all about. You, me, and some other motivated, enlightened humans to say, yes, yes. I see, I hear, and yes. And that is something that a lot of Western powers, especially Western powers, are very tight on information. You don't need to know. If we're not in the circle of aristocratic intellectualism, we don't hear it. Or we just, maybe not even intellectualism. We don't have the pockets deep enough to tell us, or they see fit to tell us, what is really happening. But let's just see, this 3i Atlas, is that the gateway, the key to the alien hello? Hello, Earthlings. Hello. They're not going to give us any information unless the airwaves are superseded, jammed, that then they're going to be like, oh, it's a prank. They're going to say that. They're going to say whatever type of information comes over, it's a prank. It's a one country will say it, like the United States will say, oh, it's a Russian thing. Oh, it's a Chinese thing. Well, it goes much deeper than that. Much deeper. Much more deeper. So let's just see. Was Three Eye Atlas part of this alien hello, the big hello? Greetings. Greetings. That they've been having a cover up because they're not ready to, we know the power structure of these different countries in the earth, they're not ready to like hand over or to change because it's been too good. When you like something, right? You like it. And tight-fisted people are a bit more stingy about things than other people. That's why they accumulate so much. And they feel a certain authority. They feel like, boss, I'm the boss because I don't have to sweat. I don't have to sweat. But being human, no matter if you have your footsteps paved in gold, you still have to deal with yourself. You still have to deal with your own private self. And a lot of times that could be a lot to handle. A lot to handle, especially when you require steps, guidelines. Now, Three Eye Atlas. Three Eye Atlas. Okay, let's just take a let me see now. This one poking up. I don't know. I'm just gonna take that one. I always read the backs of the cards to see if I can get like, feel if the spirits are moving to me. Now this is aliens are really, it's an intense subject. It's the change. It's the revelations. It is. It is. Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for the likes. Now, the first card, it's upside down. Let's turn them all over. I don't like to deal with, I have the deck upside down. And Mystic Moons does not like to deal with reverse rules. I don't like it. It's my personal thing. All right. The first one we get is the Four of Pentacles. A Four of Pentacles. Now, in this deck, the Four of Pentacles is a stage of expertise, of advancement, knowing. This is the stage of knowing, the Four of Pentacles. What do you think, the Four of Pentacles? Now, this could be that either the extraterrestrials or the interstellar beings are tired of being out. They don't want to come in. They want to bring us in. They want to show, it's almost like it's an ego thing in a way. They want to show that, listen, humans, and that means to all of us, whom we are worshiping probably aren't worth worshiping. Do you know what I mean? They're probably not worth, or like our nukes, our harp weapons, our energy weapons. They're going to show us that, wait a second, bozos, us being the bozos, this stuff really isn't all that grand. We got far. Look how far we came. Look where we came from. What we can do, and you're not at that stage. You're not at that stage. Four of Pentacles. This could be a showdown. Showdown. Could also be the showdown. I mean, how do you show arrogance? With humility or with a better set of wheels? A better set of wheels. You know what to say. Yes. And then the other card we got is the High Priestess. A High Priestess. Ah, the high priestess. Hmm. Hi, Riley. Hi, Anu Moon. How are you? Now, yes, I mean, you have the Four of Pentacles, right? Now, and this, decks are different. Like, this isn't a vintage deck. I mean, and I take vintage to start this off with, because even in the 1800s, they had airships landing in people's backyards. It's documented. Go check it out. If you dig enough, you'll find just still, even though they've censored a lot off the internet, you can still find these things out. And even too, you go back all the way back to like the Egyptian hieroglyphics. You go back to the ancient Indian culture from India. I mean, the airships. I mean, it's not even the early Renaissance things had the same thing. Spaceships. It's not. It's not just now. It's that we've successfully managed to keep us quiet. Keep us quiet. Now, you do. Well, this is first of all, we got many decks. Now the high priestess. Again, this could be this in a way is I'll do it my way. This is like out of the hands of this is inventive. This is not standard. So even though they might have an alien invasion scheduled, something else is going to come along and just trump that, to use that word, trump that event. So it doesn't really particularly matter. And then psychics, groups of people have been saying that look to the skies, look to the heavens. They're coming. They're coming and they're here. And this time we can't go back into the dark ages, which is where they're trying to keep on throwing us, people, into the dark ages. Ah, the Grim Reaper. Ah, what's this? Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords. Well, we all know the Eight of Swords is not exactly all that pleasant. It's a tie-in. People are not going to be able to handle it, and leaders or appointed representatives of the masses, put it that way, long-winded, but I put it that way. They have a feeling that we're like little, toddlers, that we can't handle the truth. We can't handle being part of the cosmos. It's true. A lot of people can't handle even being part of a community, can't even handle being in a relationship, can't even handle their own kids or their own parents or any. I mean, come on, friends. It's hard to be friends with anybody. We're in an age of Teflon. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. I can't handle this. I need my safe spot. Okay. This is the mentality, the Eight of Swords, in terms of disclosure. In terms of disclosure. In terms of the governments wanting to keep us quaking, which is why we have every single alien movie is all about, oh, they want to eat us, they want to beat us, they want to do this. They're negative. And I'm not saying, everybody's, fabulous. Not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't even trust my neighbors, neither but you if you knew them. But life goes on. We all know that. We all know that. We have a mission to do, and we don't have time for footsies. We don't have time for footsies. And this Eight of Swords is telling us, too, the fragileness of the human mind-controlled mind. Right. And that if you get enough people running around fearful, it scares other people off because that person's lost their mind and they might chop off my head. And that's all we hear in the United States anyway. That's all we hear. Somebody's killed this person, somebody's chopped that person, somebody's shot. I mean, the violence level is intense. So that right away we have the Eight of Swords. The atmosphere is hyper stressed. And then we have people who want to keep us in the playpen of ignorance forever. Ah, the sun. That's interesting, isn't it? I take the sun as a welcome to the universe, the cosmos. People that can't handle it, can't handle it. I mean, there's people that can't handle it because you look different. I mean, get down to like earth person to earth person, you look different. There's people that can't handle even a black cat, for instance. Oh, that's bad luck. Or there's people that are afraid of spiders. I'm not fond of them either. But I mean, there's many, many types. People, if you dress different from somebody else, they go, uh-oh. I mean, we're in a very xenophobic, tranquilized, eerie type of non-reality. And not realizing that we're part of the cosmos, part of the universe, and thinking that Earth is it, and your country is it, and your nationality is it, and your religion is it. That's where the problem comes from. There's chosen people. The aliens, when they make their hello, Earthlings, you're not going to understand, or even the concept of you thinking that you're like all that. They're not. They're not going to accept it. And of course, they're going to go around and they're going to like interfere with more and more mass killings as we inch, leap, leap, leap towards war, major war, major war. Maybe there are even some groups that go, yeah, less people. Well, maybe I can eat those brains, or maybe I can eat those eyeballs. You don't know. We don't know. We don't know. And we're not being prepared for anything other than chaos. However, when we have the sun, something could be connected even with maybe like right now we have like 9 planets. We already know in our solar system, we're told in our particular, not in the galaxy, all the galaxies, in our galaxy, we're told 9 exist because number one, that's all we could see. That's all we could see with all our equipment. We can only see 9. And we call them planets. Remember, we call them planets because we can predict somewhat their orbit, what they do, predictability and visuals. That's pretty limited. And that, however, it's been said through others that there are about 40 planets that we are not able to see all the time, or even with our type of equipment. Of course, and keep in mind, now even when they sense they have more planets in this solar system, they're not going to tell us. It'll take like years unless they're forced to. And that's what disclosure is all about. Disclosure. That's what it's all about. So, something more powerful is definitely superseding all that structure. Keep the masses in ignorance. Now I turn this upside down so I can look at it. It either could be the 9 of Swords or not. Or not. I guess for some it will be the 9 of Swords. Panic. We have the 8 of Swords. We have this 8 of Swords and 9 of Swords. Some people are not going to believe, and some people are going to be freaked out zombiehood because of these things. So we have the 9 of Swords and we have the 8 of Swords. It's a big trauma. Yeah, you can even see why certain people, like certain groups, are canceling New Year's Eve because celebrations. Sydney, Australia, I think in France they're canceling it. New York City is still on. Elsewhere, I'm not sure, but they're heightening the terror aspect. In fact, they probably even have agents and circles and what do you call them, sleeper cells that are going to go around and just do things because, well, the atmosphere needs to be more congested, more congested. So we have these two swords, and then some people are just going to realize that this is just play, drama. This is just drama. Whatever negativity is put on there could be just drama, because we must realize we have the sun, we have the high priestess. Now, the main things in terms of alien disclosure, we have the sun and we have the high priestess. It will go on. It will happen no matter what is thrown in the face of the masses, us, the earthlings. Whatever is trying to put the lid on the lamp, on the jar of information, on the glass bottle, cannot stay. Cannot stay. No matter how many holograms we may have to endure, how many excuses. Hi, Gemini. How are you? How are you? Now we do know that we are going to get disclosure. We know it. It cannot continue. We're too crazy. We're too crazy. And the fact that 3i Atlas, who hear all these, oh, no, it's just a comet with, 14, 20 things different. As I said, they have the president of the United States with bruises all over, bruises and a hole in his hand, saying he got these because he shakes a lot of hands. There's a bridge in Brooklyn that they could sell you to. $5. So, I mean, you have to realize that you're being insulted. Not every country is that way towards it. Now, is 3i Atlas the only thing that's going to be in our face? Is 3i Atlas the only thing that is going to show that we are not alone? That's our aliens. Let's see now. In the next few days, like Baba Varna's prophecy is about in a sports arena, sports event, she said, will happen. And then it's going to be totally indisputable. You're not going to be able to say, that's nothing. You won't be able to say that because there's going to be a communication will happen. Now, it's not only been said that a sports thing, but also you can take a sports thing being welcoming in the new year. You have a vast amount of people at certain places. And then you have fireworks, you have this, you have a showtime, a nighttime showtime. And yes, it's perfect for drones. It's perfect for holograms. It's perfect for all that. But it's not going to clear up. The real thing isn't going to clear up. Even in the Hopi legend, war comes from all sides, east and west. And when both sides are ready to strike and annihilate, the skies, Hopi Indians, southwest, United States, high in the sky will be covered with aircraft, UFOs. And they will take over the discipline of the angry little zoo Earth. They call this Earth the zoo. Crazy people live here. Crazy creatures. Crazy Earth animals. Crazy Earth animals, you and I. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. So, we have the Hopis, and that's hundreds of years old, and it's word of mouth. And of course, it's funny too that the Hopis have said that, and they also talk about the man with the red hat. And who has a red hat? Oh, the MAGA, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a character. He is the president, and he's a character. He is never shy, and he has lots of money, which in capitalism, they always worship the dough, the money, the money. But also, he wears a red hat. He wears it. Now, why do you think he wears that red hat for? Why do you think? Why do you think, Gemini, he wears that red hat? Tell me. Because he wants to be part of the prophecies. The prophecies. I mean, huh? It could be, I mean, a billionaire wearing a red, a cheap red made in China. Well, it's not made in the USA because the United States doesn't make anything anymore, or not yet anyway, or used to. The time element there. Why would a billionaire with his several $1,000 suits put a cheap hat, a red hat on to complete their outfit? Does it make any sense? Doesn't. I mean, a man with his girth too, with his figure, he's a tall man, but he can carry a lot of weight, but still. I mean, a big Panama hat or something else would look much better on a man of that height and bulk size. Right? Hi. Spirituality. Now, we have to get back to the fact that the aliens are going to judge us, not so much with our wealth, what we have, but they're going to judge the intent of our being, of our wealth is internal. Our wealth and our generosity is inside of us, not because we have acres and acres and acres of money and land and possessions. Aliens can see that's a good human, that isn't a good human. That's a blowhard. That's something that person is evil. That person is not evil. That person's good. This is good. This is bad. They're going to be able to see that. Just like you can look, if you look, take out the cobwebs out of your eyesight, you can see very clearly this person is good and this person is not good. I mean, you see it on a bus, on a train. You could, and not just because of the way they're dressed, but the aura they give off. The aura. Yes. How pure we are. Yes, exactly, Gemini. How pure we are. And if our hearts are dark, small, crabby, grasping, controlling, manipulative, evil, low energy, we don't stand a chance. Now that's where they come in. That's where they come in with their superior technology. And this is where the chaos that they've been trying to suppress year after year. Look at NASA. NASA has been under the sheets, under the covers. Hush, 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 hush. They don't want to say nothing. Nothing except, oh, it's nothing to see here. I mean, they sound like pirates. They sound like pirates. You don't need to know. You don't need to. Nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. So, is there... Now, we know that we're not going to see, they're not going to tell us. Other countries are much more forthcoming. Mexico, India, but the United States, and I would say the entire NATO, they have this hush-hush, they have their little secret groups. Now, are we going to... That's true. We do need to nullify. That's what we can do. We can definitely, it's a good point, Gemini. We can definitely nullify the evil. However, when they start like grinding, when they start murdering or organ harvesting, which is war, killing. And I mean, even if you take like our leaders right now with Ukraine, it's endless. It's endless warfare. Venezuela. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely, if we don't get together and nullify and say we want peace, nobody wants war, nobody wants any of these things, but maybe to keep the secrets quiet, the secret of the cosmos, some people, the evil, will resort to anything to stop this inevitableness from happening. Yeah. let's see. We already think, okay, now, let's see now. Are we going to have the next few weeks, the next recently, is it coming? The mass alien, hello, the high, the interstellar, hello, Earthlings. Hello, Earthlings. Are we going to get that, first of all? Are we going to get, hello, let me look at these cards. Are they going to say they cannot stay in the dark any longer? They see us crippling ourselves, going into ridiculous pharmaceutical gluttony, mental illness over the fact that they exist. They're not, we can't stay out of the harmonic tune of the tune, like a tuning machine, like of the universe any longer. We cannot. They were too crazy. It's just too crazy. It's too crazy. Now, this reading right now is, are we going to get, and I'm reading this greetings from our interstellar, alien, non-human counterparts, other planets. And of course, they're going to contact you and I, because they're not going to contact some group that's going to shoot them down and start warfare even before they can even say hello. Unless they can nullify, unless the technology that they possess can nullify all that certain groups here on the planet Earth already have. All right. The first card we get is the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups. Well, they definitely are. There's definitely opportunity. There's definitely opportunity to show hello, the big hello. Is it going to be in more than one place? That's a good question. That's also, they're going to be, when they say hello, when they reveal themselves, it's going to be in several places. I would take the Six of Cups as that. It's not going to be confined to Washington, D.C., Paris, France, Seoul, Korea. No. Moscow. No. No. It's going to be in several places at one time. It's going to involve several places at one time. Several people, not just one lone group. The Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles. They're working on this. This is something I would say, the Eight of Pentacles, something's going to be happening. The Eight of Pentacles. Yes. The Eight of Pentacles. Look what we have so far. We have the Six of Cups. A lot of venues, a lot of places, a lot of airships, a lot of things in the sky, and they are preparing to revelations. This is what Revelations is all about. The change, the change, the change. Maybe that's why certain Earth groups are trying so hard to have World War III, because they want control. They want to delay. Or something, or just petrifying that they're not going to have the control that they bleed for, or they'll bleed us for. The Ten of Wands. And Ten of Wands. Wow. They're working on it. Maybe they're working on this revelation. Well, they're not going to come and hold our hands and or go a tap on the wrist, because things have been like things are outrageous in this country, in this earth right now. Not just in this country. They are in this country, but elsewhere too. Elsewhere. They do not like what earth people are doing, earth animals. They do not like it. They do not like where it's going. Going towards, you have these war hawks. And I would say President Trump is one of them. Changing the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Going around, I want Venezuela, I want Colombia, I want Mexico, I want Greenland, I want Gaza, I want Syria, I want Lebanon, I want Taiwan, I want Ukraine. Peace, peace. What is this? What is this? What is this? This hawkish need to be, I'm going to be William the Conqueror. I'm going to be the conqueror. I am going to conquer. I am. Who wants control over all of us? This is a disputing thing between the interstellar beings. This control factor. It's not live and let live anymore right now. It's not that. It's like maybe they have to take control. Obviously, they're going to get rid of. Hey, if it's mold, it's, do you eat mold? You eat moldy food, or you keep moldy things? No, you clean it up. Clean it up. So this is something in many places, they're working on something to clean up this mess, and not to show us a cure for cancer or stuff like that. I don't mean that. I mean, clean up this bad vibrations. Clean up the energy level. Something, yeah. It's like, why are you disrupting the harmony of the earth? Or maybe something like that, the harmony of the universe, because we're not just alone. It's not just, okay, so flat earthers think one thing. However, we won't go there right now with them. But dealing with the entire universe, whether it's just a simulation, whether it's just a repeat, it's a vast and endless mystery. And we are not the only life forms around. That we can all agree on. Okay, call them demons, angels, jinn, fairies. It doesn't matter what you call them. The fact that earth animals are one thing. Humans are one thing. And non-humans are another. The next one we have, King of Swords, the message. Straighten up. It's the message. That's pretty intense, isn't it? The message. The message is the 10 of Wands from the King of Swords. 8 of Pentacles. Busy working on this appearance, this hello, Earthlings. And then we have 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups. Many places, or many people from different places in one place. It's going to be, or a public. Then again, I could see like a public publicity. It's not quiet. It's not in a manger. It's not quiet. However, this particular event, this is what some people call the Day of Judgment. Could be. Maybe. Why are they hastening with so much? I don't think it's the way it's being portrayed. I think more or less you think evil thoughts. You think less of other people, other beings. That is the judgment that you give others. Now, I'm not saying that you should be friendly with someone who doesn't have the brain power and the empathy level, the heart, and the energy and the frequency level that you have. But you don't mistreat them. But when you decide you're not worth living, it's being decided right now to this day. Like when they drop those bombs on the fishermen or the ships in the ocean, or they shoot somebody because they feel like it, they run somebody over, you bomb somebody, you're not fit to live. That's the decision. Now that's where the horror comes in. Or you call people that are getting hurt collateral damage. That's cruel. Very cruel. For your own safety. Now, this element of disliking each other, we have a very, very coarse environment right now. You know that. That's why it's so crazy. It's so crazy because the value of living, of being, is like a crap. It's like a crap game. It's Russian roulette. True, true, Gemini. Now, if they have the equipment, and when we've been like terraforming some of their seized equipment into learning about alien technology, that's been going on for quite some time. Quite some time. We all know it. We've seen it. They bragged about it last year in November, in up and down the East Coast, up and down the United States and other countries. I mean, they're everywhere. Refurbished, rebranded alien technology. Now, they may have let us have some of their goodies, but not all of their goodies. And that's the whole point. If they're thinking at that level of physics, imagine what they did not use towards us. And that's something that we should be fearful of. And that's something that we should be aware of. I mean, there's no plan except destroy with some of these leaders right now on this planet, on some of these countries. I want this territory. I want this real estate. And why? I want your minerals. I want that lithium. That's what everybody's after right now, the lithium. They'll destroy their own people to get, in their own nations, to get that lithium. You know why? Because you break down lithium to two isotopes, two important isotopes, I think is that are needed for, without getting too overly technical, are needed for AI development, for the software and the robots. That fusion, they have fission and fusion. Like before in the atomic Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the rest of the bombs that they've used, maybe 9/11, who knows, they had splitting the atom. Now, fusion is putting it together. It's putting photons, which are light particles, light molecules, atoms together. Fission. Like, in Dragon Ball Z, you see Vegeta and Goku, they fusion. That's what they kind of like, it's a spoof on that. Well, think of it, you can think of it that way if whatever, if you so choose. But the point is, lithium is the important mineral that they need to have that high energy output. And they'll do anything to get that together because they feel you and I are not worth much, as opposed to having their greed and being total control. They want to go to Mars. They want to do this. Who's to say they haven't been in Mars already? They're not going to tell you because it's been secret. However, these aliens, these visitors, are much more mature, much more used to things on a larger scale. And they have no time for this little petty, prick your feet, prick your finger, kill you, torture you type of mentality that we do here on Earth. They have no more time for that. They have no more time. Let's see that. And then we have the Emperor. Look at that. Well, as we can see, we're going to have, look at these cards, people. Look at this. We have the Emperor. We have the King of Swords. We have the the 10. The 10 of Wands. Then we have the 8 of Pentacles. And then we have the 6 of Cups. What does that tell you? This is we're definitely going to have a mass awakening. Not even awakening, because those of us who are awake are awake. Those of us who are asleep, whether they need drugs, booze, sex, food, crazy crying, scattering of emotions. No. However, the awakened ones, us, we are going to be told something very, very soon. The Emperor, the King of Swords, they're ready. They're ready. We're going to have an event. You can see it, can't you? You can see it. I can see it. Working on it. And it's not going to be like, hi, people. Hello. It's not going to be the friendly visit. It's not going to be a friendly visit. It's because, look at this face of this emperor. Right. We waited too long. We've gone too far, strayed too far. We've strayed too far, and the message is clear. The message is clear. In fact, we can start poking around certain things like why we can start to think about some of the things we've heard in the past. Like why did things like we saw like in Mars, we saw like a pyramid. We saw a 5-mile pyramid that was quickly blacked out. But then again, they say, no, you didn't see it. They've been hiding. Like the pyramids on Mars. We've all seen like the faces, the pyramids, and then they, oh, no. And then the fact of like how many planets in our solar system. I mean, it wasn't until like about 15 years ago or so that they honestly said there were like many galaxies and many planets, millions of galaxies and billions of planets. After spending decades and decades and decades of the science, quote, 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 science saying we only had, less than a dozen planets. So we've been told, even been told the truth about life in our solar system and among these few planets that we're being privileged to be acknowledged. Have they even said anything? See, they cannot take, the universe cannot take our frequency level, our kinetic energy just being bzz, 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 especially when we threaten to nuke each other, bomb each other, which is going to cause a frequency ripple, boom, 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 boom. We can't be peaceful. We just can't just sit and look at the stars and like communicate with each other in the ways that we should communicate with each other. No, we have to go, you're different, you're stupid, you're this, you're that. And the fact that the 3i Atlas put this high sun girths of frequency started several of these earthquakes here on this planet could show you the power. Now, what was it? 150 million miles away? And still, it's zapping us. It's zapping. And now we have had the colors, changing colors. We've had like these little ships around this big so-called rock mass. These little ships, points of light, and then even the tail of the comet is in the front of the comet, and still they're going around. It's a comet, people. Now, they're really going to tell? First of all, be real. They're never going to tell you the truth unless the initiative is made by the interstellar beings who are tired of playing footsie. They're tired of our mass ignorance. They're tired of us upsetting Yes, they're tired of us upsetting the universe. They're not going to take it anymore. They're not going to take it anymore. They're tired of wheeling out these penis phallic shaped weapons. Boom, boom. I'm going to get you. I'm going to, and putting these high frequency beams, upsetting, not only we're ruining the magnetic field of this planet, even we're all saturated with ionized radiation, 5G, 4G. Now they want 6G. In fact, United States President Trump even was like rambling on a conference saying about 5G. No, 6G. 6G frequency, ionized radiation to see into, they want to see inside the body of things. Not the internet of things, but the body of the inside the body of things. The IBOT. We're in a level that we can't continue this crazy. We just can't continue this crazy. We have to get real. Now, they've been trying for like thousands of years. This Earth too is like almost 5 billion years old. It's 4.6 billion years old. How they got that, we can guess upon that, or we can look it up. But it's older, and they've only had recorded history of this Earth animals, us humans, for the last 6,000 years, and then still they have things that you can't touch. 12,000 years ago, they go back, they can't touch it, you can't touch it, you can't talk about it, you can't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk. I think the concept of, it's a good question. What do aliens want pertaining to the concept of they're here. They're here. 3-Eye Atlas is a wake-up call for us. We see it. It's not, you're going to keep believing the fairy tales that they keep on telling us because they don't want to share the knowledge. Even when you go to college, you go to college, you have to pay lots of money to go to college, right? Lots of money. And then they have different status levels, blah, blah, blah. But the point is that you don't, even now they're saying, don't bother to go to college, go get a trade degree, go learn how to be a plumber, a carpenter, which is good skills, mind you, good skills. However, don't ever tell people to stop learning and stop receiving knowledge and sharing. Oh, you're not going to get a job, but you're not going to get a job anyway. They're telling you another pair of shoes because the AI, artificial intelligence, is going to take your job in 6 months. By the end of this coming year, 2026, you'll all be sitting around on some sort of like government, like $5, basic, IUB, basic income, basic university. Oh, it's like come on, it's stupid. No matter which way you look, you're being canned and put in a shelf, a cookie jar, a mason jar of stupidity. A mason jar of stupidity. And the fact that 3-Eye Atlas is showing you that maybe, but that may be the message, showing you that this is not showing you the level of our perceived experts, our perceived science. It's a comet, it's a comet, it's a comet. It's like the old Superman on Nickelodeon. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Superman. Can it be there like that? Huh? How? Are we going to be there? Are we going to remain vain, stupid? Even in Charlemagne's time, he had his people out looking for extraterrestrials. It's documented. It's documented. He was going around because he noticed, and his people noticed, which they don't say they say what the Black Plague was because of rats, mice, lice, something like that. He was saying wherever you found these black draped beings, They were all dressed in black robes, that pestilence and death would follow. They sprinkle things on the plants, the land, the people, the animals. Now that was down in Charlemagne's time, and he said they came from an airship. And he outlawed, if he told his people that if you saw, in fact, he even passed I think he passed a law or a proclamation, edict, that's saying that he outlawed these individuals, these beings from being around. If you saw their ship, if you saw them come out of their ship, you were to report it and cause as much. Don't be afraid, not to run, but to like make it uncomfortable, to make it known. They had now documents for this. Now, of course, all these documents are not given to you or I. No. And of course, in the 1800s, they had all these airships too. Prometheus, the airship of Prometheus. You can just do a little research about in the 1800s, all the different airships, all the different ships from high above, which would appear. Who did what? Ray, appliance. Who did that? Yes. Who did what? Who did Charlemagne back. I mean, there's besides the hieroglyphics, etc. And even they say, how do these ancient civilizations know about astronomy? How do they know about it? But I mean, it's all you hear is just a question, and it's left in the ether of just to like where, how, what. No. We have to concentrate on like what happened last week. We have to concentrate on like what's happening in our city. We're just not looking at. We can't think about the broader picture of what has been happening. The proclamation from Charlemagne. They have it in the edict. He said he has. It's documented that for the Black Plague, he considered visitors, not from here, not from another tribe, not from another area, but from the heavens, who came down, and they were dressed in black. And they were spraying the people, the towns. They would get up early in the morning. He would be finding them early in the morning or late at night, spraying areas. And then as soon as those areas were saturated, then the disease, etc., and the death would follow. But yet we're told it was bugs. We're told it's rats. You won't find that in your history books. No, but it's documented. It's documented. And the same too with the 1800s with their airships. They would land in people's yards. You can find articles about that. And then they just quiet. Oh, we won't talk about it. We won't talk about it. Even the fact that the lunar eclipse that you see several times during the year, they're speculating that there's a transparent body, a planet that passes above in front of the moon. And of course, what is the moon? The moon itself is a mystery that's being kept in certain circles open. But however, for the masses, again, you are being told nothing. The moon is a piece of the earth. No, that is a joke. That is a real joke. In fact, not too long ago, this seems to me to be particularly poignant. Not too long ago, earlier this year, in fact, India launched the third probe. It's called Charana 3. Charana 1, Charian 2, and Charian 3. Now, you have to think about this. Now, the Westerners like to be, the Western civilizations, NATO and the United States, they like to be, oh, we're the authority. We are the authority. However, they calmly do not include what the other countries, they're not sharing it to the people. You have to really, really, really dig. And I like digging, by the way. Now, in this Indian probe, they found out a couple of really, it should have hit the front pages of every single daily online news site all over the world, but it didn't, because they're scared of having that information out. But they found a substance up there, that probe, that Indian probe, that has remarkable cloaking abilities, and it's something that pertains only to what is found on the moon. There's a substance up there that it cloaks anything. It can cloak a city. It can cloak a traveling, a interstellar craft. Yes, Charion. Yes, but you know what else they found? They found a city under the, inside the soil. I'll call it for the best. The moon dust. The moon substance. A city. They scanned, this probe scanned, revealed that the moon is shallow in different parts. And not only is it shallow, there's an ancient city. An ancient city, it's small and it has energy that it emits. It has an energy frequency. Now, we don't know if this is they couldn't clarify yet if it's an ancient alien base or if it's an ancient human base. Isn't this interesting? Now, we hear nothing about that. We just look at, the moon, full moon, half moon, waxing moon, waning moon. Now, and also, too, this probe broke down after a few days. It's funny how all these probes pick up stuff and then they collapse. They collapse. Now, this ancient city, this ancient city, it revealed itself to be a lot like ancient Indian, texts from, the ancients of India, of that part of the world. So there's many, 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 many things, like the moon is, and the fact that even in this country, United States, there's a guy named Trump, a Trump administration official. His name is, I think it's Daniel Driscoll. Let's see, Daniel Driscoll. I'm pronouncing it maybe a little bit wrong, but Driscoll. Yes, Daniel Driscoll. It's, the last name is spelled Rscoll. Daniel. Now, he is a Trump official, and he said, "Oh, sure. United States has had has a base on the moon." He is an official of Trump's administration. Whether he still is, I'm not sure, but he was a few months ago. But he let it slip. Yes. So I mean, even the fact that, like, it took, like, China to have a probe going up saying there was water on the moon, or even the soil was black, not white, not green cheese. The way we in the United States are always like saying, "Oh yeah, it's white because the moon is white, it's reflecting." No, it was dark soil. So there's many, 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 many things that they're just keeping the American and Western people in the dark. And that's another thing too. Like, why must the whole world follow such slow-witted approach to things? Ah, Gemini. Yes, we go that way too. I'll leave it as that. Yes. And the fact of that we just can't have anything unless it comes out of European. Again, we have this colonialization of every single thing. Every single thing, but as I said, the aliens, the interstellar aliens don't care about stuff like that. We all are Earth animals, and they realize not on a high level, not on a high level. Are we fit for like uh, fit for the cosmos? Are we ready to be welcomed into the cosmic neighborhood? Are we? When we're trying to, like, I'm going to bomb you, I'm going to do this, is me. Oh, do I get that award? Did I get this? Did I get? I mean, we have leadership like that, and hot stuff and stuff like. We have too many problems. Do they want this element of our erratic, crazy, neurotic stance? Maybe they're not going to grow up. They're telling us grow up, grow up, grow up. Childhood ends. Childhood Ends is a book by Arthur C. Clarke. He's a deceased writer. It's called Childhood Ends. I did a painting like that, and 8 years ago. And it's all about too, like in other words, it's almost the fulfillment of the Hopi legend, with all these spaceships coming all over, appearing out of this, in front of our sky. And wake up one morning and bang, 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 they're all over the place, and that the appearance of these interstellar beings, these aliens, they resemble what we consider demons. And they were kind of afraid to show us their appearance because of our folklore and our superstitious ways and our mass hysteria and our xenophobicness. So, this is something that we will thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. Yeah, so all these things, how we would deal with it, that's something that, even the fact of the cosmos being so huge, so big, and we're being told we're going to have a fake alien invasion, as if there's not enough of the real thing. That's like giving somebody plastic fruit when there's real fruit out there, right? It's as silly and as neurotic as that, even to suggest that they're going to pull such a thing. And that we are the center of what? Of what? Irrationality? Out of controlness? Well, it's pretty. Now, so we can see that there's definitely going to be a greetings. There's definitely going to be hello. Hello. And it can't be stopped. It cannot be stopped. I'm going to take a little break. I'll be back.